Greetings, everybody. Welcome back. This is Module 1.2 of the First Year Home Inspectors Masterclass. We're so glad that you guys are here. 12 people in the chat already. Just as a reminder, feel free to go ahead and sound off over there, guys. Say who you are, where you're from, who your home inspection company is. And let's make this a social thing too. Go ahead and drop your Instagram handle or your social media in there as well, because we've got something really, really freaking cool here tonight. Matt, what was your biggest takeaway from the last session
Well, first of
with
all, I'd
Rick?
like to say you said sound off, and immediately my dog started sounding off.
He
So I'm
took it
sorry about
literally.
that. I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
heard that or not, but anyway, takeaway from the last one. Um, so that was with Mark, right?
It was. Yep.
Mark Hummel. You know, man, Mark's always just got such an interesting viewpoint when it comes to your mindset about business. And I don't know. I just every time I hear him speak, I walk away with just like a an open-minded perspective about you know how I go at business, kind of in general. And so that's the best way I can really describe it. If you haven't seen it, I mean, people can go back and watch this, right?
They
This is
can. Yeah.
yeah, and if you haven't seen it, you really should, because he touches on so many things that can just really enlighten your perspective about business.
No, 100%. And the platform that I'm going to share the link for, it's called Thinkific. You not only can you watch the video back from the last session, but there's a homework assignment in there because we want this to be interactive. Like, we don't want you guys to just sit and listen here. We're really talking about what you need to do to build a successful business, steps that you need to take, how to plan things out properly so that you set yourself up for success. We want you guys to participate with all of this. So there's a homework assignment at the link that I'm going to post in the chat. There's a quiz, all kinds of stuff, man. So just a reminder, who we are. You guys know Matt Brading. He's the It's Not Supposed to Do That guy. And hopefully you guys subscribe to the Ride Along podcast. If you don't, be sure to. But just as a refresher, we're doing this because we wish somebody had taught us some of these basic business principles when we got started as home inspectors. And so we're really looking to shorten the learning curve for all y'all that are in the chat here and watching at home, because we feel like home inspectors need a basic playbook for basic systems, how to sell, how to market, things like that, and we're here to give that to you guys. So I want to give you guys just a quick reminder. There's some key dates coming up. Today we're going to be talking about building business plans. Last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago we talked about finding purpose and how your business should align to your purpose. August 5th, Matt Brading is going to be talking all about marketing and sales. That's going to be pretty awesome.
I still
And
got
then
a
in
lot of
September,
work to do to put that together.
yeah, yeah, man, it's going to be cool.
I
Hey,
work
Amy,
well
glad
under
you're
pressure.
tuning in from Colorado. And then, yeah, so in September, we're going to be talking about how to implement systems and processes both in the field, in your office, and then wrapping it up with how to put it all together and make it work. So it's going to be pretty exciting, man. But we already talked about this. I'm going to post the link for you guys. But more importantly, I want to introduce our guest here today. This is Milton Yoder, great friend of mine here in Nashville, Tennessee. And Milton, introduce yourself, what you do, and what you're looking to do with your business, man.
Yep. Hey guys, so can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Sure
Okay, I
can.
just wanted to make sure it's connected to the right device. Yeah, so I'm Milton Yoder. I grew up with background in construction, been doing that for like about 18 years now. So I've had quite a bit of time in the field. Built my company from ground up. Like I used to say, I've started picking up trash and now I tell people where to pick up trash. I get the privilege of doing that. So I've seen all the different things along the way. And as far as like with the business, what we're doing now is like we build custom houses, and also do some light commercial. So pretty broad scale things, but like our pretty much our like specialty is custom barn dominiums. So that's kind of what we're known for. And yeah, going forward, we're just going to continue expanding on that. Continue bringing in a product that the market is really wanting. There's strong support for that. So just continually refining that process, figuring out how to make everything work better, get all the kinks out of it. Like in the beginning, and you guys will learn this as you get in business. Like I've been in business, I've been an entrepreneur for about since 2013. So that's 13 years, I guess. And after you find some things that work, instead of doing all this heavy work, what you'll start learning is like it's a 2 degree shift here, it's a 2 degree shift there. It's not like huge moving the needle things anymore as you go forward in business. So that's what we're in the process of doing is with my business right now.
No, that's awesome, man. Now we've had the pleasure of sitting in a sauna, sweating our butts off, and also going down to Mexico with the nonprofit that we volunteer with, and also sweating there. Anytime we talk, there's sweat involved, basically. But honestly, it's been awesome hearing you talk about just your vision for your business, getting to meet the people on your team and seeing how everybody works together and seeing what you're able to accomplish with it. So I'm excited for what you have to share. For home inspectors that are watching and going, wait, this guy does construction. How does this translate? I really feel like there's different skills that translate across all industries, right? I mean, Matt, we talk to people that are in different trades all the time. That's part of the ride along. It's we want to highlight plumbers, we want to highlight electricians. I feel like this is something that's gonna be helpful regardless of what the field is, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, business is business. Okay, acquiring customers is acquiring customers. There's to some degree, all of it is very similar. You just figure out, what it is you're trying to do, what it is you're trying to build, and try to develop a game plan about how you go about it. And so, it doesn't really matter what it is now. I think easily we can make an argument that construction is very much related to inspection and vice versa. And so, there's definitely some similarities there, just like construction is related to real estate. And inspection is related to real estate. I mean, this is the circle, the circle of
Yeah,
our
yeah.
lives. Okay, but when it comes to like building a business, there's some ground rules that really don't change a whole lot. And so there's oftentimes whenever I give business advice to people, or when I've done some webinars on some stuff about building a business, my the advice that I give people is based from an inspection perspective. But if you just dissect it a little bit, it can usually be used in whatever industry you're in.
No, it is. Now, the irony of tonight, though, is that we have a builder educating home inspectors, not vice versa. See, sometimes we can all get along, guys.
That's
Sometimes it's
right.
possible. Yeah. so, so I find like the custom builders, they align a little bit more with our values as home inspectors, you know. But anyway, but let's jump into it. Milton, I'm going to hand the mic, proverbially, as it were, over to you. I'm excited for what you got to share tonight, man.
All right, perfect. So let's get started with everything. So yeah, I mean, I've got a little slideshow. Brad will just switch through it for me. So this is just kind of 8 different steps. Like we're just evaluating everything. As so basically what I'm going to give you is like a roadmap to starting any business. This can be applied to pretty much any business you want to apply. And we're going to like specifically focus on home inspections tonight. So first step is like, why do most people never start? Then there's a 5-step framework to building a business. You got to have a clarity, you got to have validation, you got to have a good foundation, and you got to get that first revenue. Then you put systems in place, and then also a couple of mistakes that'll kill some of the businesses. So that's kind of the things we're going to go through tonight. And so we'll start off with just number 1. Okay, Brad. Um, like, why do most people never start? That's probably one of the most common questions that I run across is like, it's not really a lack of skills and ideas. It's a lack of process or waiting for the perfect idea. Or in all honesty, the way I like to say, why do you not start something? It's because it's easier not to. Like, that's just the plain simple truth of it is. And then now with AI, it's also really easy to do all the research, do all the planning, get everything ready, get all your paperwork and everything figured out. But then you got to put everything out there. And so you're going to spend all this time building websites, logos. Dude, I did over $1 million in business before I had a logo for my business, before I LLC'd it. I did over $1 million. I was like, I mean, I might be a little bit on the far side of the spectrum on that, but the IRS is not going to come after you for if you're doing 100,000 in revenue. Now, if you're consistently doing a million, yeah, they're going to start looking at you. So get your shit in order. But why waste all that time doing all that stuff in the beginning if you don't even know if you're going to make it? So it's just that's just part of it. You just gotta sometimes I'm also the kind of person to just jump into something before and figure it out as I go, and jump into the freaking pool and learn how to swim. Like,
Man, that's very
so
much what I do. Kind of the
yeah.
bull in
I
a
mean,
china shop approach.
yeah.
It's like I would rather jump all in and fight my way through and figure it out as I go, oftentimes than overthink it. And I find sometimes that really is very beneficial. And this is like business, sure, but like even like projects around the house, I'll have like questions about things. I won't know what step 3 is because I can't make that make sense into my head. And
Yep.
I will never do it if I don't just start it and then get to 3 and go, okay, now you got to do something because you got all this tore
Yeah.
up. So you got to figure that out. And so, anyway, sorry, had to interject
Yeah.
there. Totally
No,
was
I love it. Love it, dude. So yeah, number one is clarity. And I'm not talking about clarity in having everything in the business. So you got everything mapped out here: clarity, validation, foundation, first revenue, and then systems. So the clarity I'm talking about is not just in clarity in business. You got to have clarity that this is something you want to do. Where is the pain point in this? Like, what's the target? Like, will people pay for this? Look at people that are already paying for a worse version of this kind of solution. So, like your competitors, workarounds, or like their own time wasted or money trying to solve that. Like, if I go buy a home, I'm a builder, so I can inspect it. But is somebody that's going to be doing it every day, all the time, going to be better at it and faster and more efficient? Yeah, probably. And also, is it worth my time to spend 2 hours doing that? Like, here's another thing that you think about in business. Like, what is your hourly rate? Like, how much is it costing you to do this versus how much does it cost you to get somebody to do it? What is the net gain, loss, whatever in that? Like, that's something that you have to figure out too. So, and then also number three with clarity is like, is this something that I can deliver with right now? Not that you'll learn it eventually, not that you're like just going to have a certification and planning to get it next year. Like, what skills, time, and money do you have today that you can apply to this and make it work? So, once you've got clarity on that, that's the first step. Okay, I can do this. People need this. Who's in pain? So, and then you just go from there. Second part is the validation. Like, talk to a couple prospects, like people that are needing this, like home buyers, like go to not home builders association, go to like realtor meetings or something, or like where would you go? Wherever you could think you could find a realtor, and talk to them and see if it's something like partnership you can work out with a realtor or something. That's a good place to start, and offer a way to do it. Just like, maybe you can do your first deal. Like I did my first deal, I wrote down on a napkin, okay, like we can do this, this, and this. It's going to cost this much. And then got like a base concept. Of course, we created a real contract for it before we went and did it, but that was where it started. So once you get like one real yes like that, then go figure out how to do the rest of it. And like also price it before you scale it. Don't just price it to get the job. Price it where it's competitive with the market. Because if you come in and you're the cheap guy, number one, you're going to have to rush through it to make it work. And number two, it's going to be extremely hard to raise your prices because people are used to paying this. And get people to pay this is extremely hard. You can always come down if you can't sell it, if you're overpriced based on the market, but you have to figure that out. Like, you see,
Man,
it's just like buying
Yeah, he's
gas.
preaching,
Like,
man.
that
Yeah.
is so
like
true.
you just
I saw
yeah,
somebody say something on a video recently that was like, "Hey, your contractors, like make sure like you're not like it's not about just going with the cheapest guy. Make sure they're charging enough because
yeah,
if they are not charging enough, like you feel like you're getting a benefit, but eventually you're going to end up paying the price there. Like they're going to
you
end
will.
up rushing to get things done, cutting corners because they can't afford based on what they charged to do things the way you actually wanted it done to begin with. And so
Yeah,
make sure your guys are charging what they need to charge. It competitive beats low ball any day of the week.
Dude,
100%.
there's a couple things that I'm really picking up on what you're saying here so far, Milton. And number one, it's great to have a plan and a strategy and to work on that, but don't necessarily wait for everything to be perfect first, right? Like it's honestly it's the people that succeed the most are the ones that are just willing to jump in and learn as they go. So, get after it. You need to start making money fast.
Yeah.
Don't let anything hold you back from that. Secondly, you know, we talk in this, gosh, Matt, we've talked about this in podcasts all the time where it's like knowing how to set your price and knowing how to value it. It's better to do it out right off the bat, period. So like, don't try to play games, lowballing everybody, but
That is
just,
huge advice for anybody getting started in business. Like, look, we get it that you have to go in a little lower to get business sometimes, but there has to be a threshold to that. And it
mhm.
still needs to be competitive. It can be low side competitive, but it still needs to be competitive. Like, you knocking the knees off of everybody in town isn't going to be good for the industry, you, or anybody involved.
Mm-mm, not even a little bit. No.
You know, I want to dial it back to clarity for a minute because you were talking about something, and I feel like we're sure to talk with Brent Fletcher about this at some point. But playing to your strengths, like, so you get into something and like, okay, so I don't know 100% of this aspect of this. I'll have to figure that part of it out. But what I do know is this. And it's like you lean into that strength. And it's like, yeah, assess kind of what you are good at and what you do know, lean on that stuff. And then the rest of it you can kind of pick up as you go along. At least that's what I was
Yeah.
picking up from your
Yeah.
comments on clarity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On finding, talking to 10 real prospects and finding one that you're willing to just kind of go ahead and get the sale. This is a good place, I think, to talk about Mickey Zawinski's question over here in the chat. He was asking, yeah, it's over on the side here and
Yeah, I
in the
forgot about it.
Riverside.
Yeah.
I
If you
got it.
have
Yeah.
any question, I can't see the questions. So if anything pops up,
Oh yeah, I'll read them back. Yeah,
let me know.
he was asking how do you break the mindset of builders and realtors who go, well, I have one inspection group that I use, and I'm not willing to use somebody else. Like if you're new, how do you really wrestle somebody's business away from somebody else? My thought there, dude, and I said it in the comments: persistence and quality of service. It's number one. Like if if one person gives you a no, keep moving and find somebody that's going to say yes. Okay, because once you get that person that's giving you business and you get a good Google review out of them, find the next yes. You're going to get a lot of no's at first, but you have to have persistence. And if you have a quality service, if you're doing a great job with your inspections, then word will catch on. I mean, word of mouth travels really fast in this industry, and Google reviews is kind of like the way now that the word travels online. Like Mickey was saying, 95% of his referrals are word of mouth, and realtors are very set in their ways. They are until somebody messes up. And that's the only opportunity you need. So, and that's where I say
Yeah.
seriously, just keep being persistent. They might say no right now, but it's like dating. One girl says no, you just keep on moving and you find the one that's willing to say yes, because that other one might come back around at some point. And
Are
but
you giving
that
dating
doesn't mean
advice?
I'm saying it works, man. Like
Okay.
you can't just sit here and just be waiting. You got to just
Well,
okay, well, next you
no,
keep on
it's
moving.
true. It's
Yeah.
true. But I also think like there's something to be said about like, so you're up against people that have been doing this for a long time, like, right? That's your competition. And it's like, well, how do you edge out that competition? And you're not want to knock their knees out because that's not good for the industry. It's not good for you, not good for anybody involved. And so we don't want to do that. So we got competitive rates, but it's like these people are like, well, I mean, you're just under the guy that's a little bit more, but he's got more experience. Like, why should I pick you? Well, it is an elephant in the room I think we need to address, and that is, people that have been in business for a long time, we can all attest to this if we have been. We all become a little bit jaded and a little bit like I disinterested isn't the word. Just I mean jaded. We're a little
Hmm.
bit burnt out at some point, and so we kind of we become picky and choosy about who we want to work with, and maybe we don't feel like we have to work so hard to get that job. I'm not talking about working on the job. I'm talking about working for the job, right? So it's like if somebody, I mean, there's been times I try my best, and now somebody else answers my phones. But certainly, whenever I was answering my phones, there's been times where it's like people start asking you too many questions, and you're like, do you want the job or not? Like, do you want me to come inspect your house or not? That's the feeling that I get inside, right? And so, as somebody new on the block, like, just be willing to listen, willing to answer those questions, have the answers, or you don't have to have the answers, but have a solid, like, I don't know the answer, but I will get back to you. Just your assertiveness and how you talk to these people, I think, can really, in any industry, really make a difference in edging out the conversation. Why should I pick you versus the guy that's got more experience? It's like, because I care about you.
And I'll
And
tell
show
you,
them that you care about them.
I'll tell you another one too. When I said that, agents are loyal until somebody messes up. Agents care about one thing, guys: getting to closing. Okay, so if their normal guy is busy, they'll find somebody else real quick. Like if they don't, if the team that they normally use is booked out, they're going to keep moving because they're on a deadline.
Mhm.
The first agent that I got when I moved from doing inspections for 10 years in Virginia to 10 years in Florida, uh, I picked the agent up on Facebook. I just joined a real estate networking group on Facebook, and somebody posted one day, "I need a home inspector ASAP," and I was the first response, and that's all it took. I got so much business out of that agent after that. And to Jason's comment down here, how do you be competitive or successful if you're not the one-stop shop offering radon, mold, sewer scoping? Like if you don't have all those things yet, it's still okay. I didn't when I moved from Virginia to Florida, and I still picked up tons of business off of that agent. You know what I'm
I,
saying? It's
yeah, I think
they
you have
don't
to
all
pick and
need all of
choose.
it.
You're not going to get it all. And so, what are you getting the most calls for? Like, I don't do most of that stuff, right? But the one thing that I was getting calls for, the one thing I was losing jobs for, was because I wasn't able to offer termite inspections because people wanted to get a termite inspection. And so, since I wasn't able to offer those, I was losing business. So what did I do? I went and got licensed for termite inspections, and now I can offer those. I haven't actually done the rest of them, but I don't think you necessarily have to be a one stop shop. But the thing is you just need to advertise what you are good at. I mean,
Hmm.
here's the thing: your product is everything, and obviously, if you're in this business, you're probably getting some jobs, right? And so you're not going to get every one of them because some people are going to want that one stop shop. I always try to tell people, look, there's no doubt that like a one-stop shop is convenient, right? But there's no doubt that you are getting a more robust inspection report or more robust work out of specific inspectors. So it's like if I don't do septic inspections, um, but I give you a referral to somebody that does septic inspections, they're going to give you a much better septic inspection report than I was ever going to give you. And yes, you might have saved $50 if you would have had the home inspection company do it. But
Or
I'm selling the other company. I'm going, hey,
Mhm.
I'm good at what I do. This is my scope, and I'm gonna give you something that's really good within that scope. And
Yeah, what were you
then,
saying,
but
Milton?
Yeah, I just had a point to that. Like, so I have a couple things, but like the other thing is like, or go talk to that septic inspector, or go
right,
talk with that termite inspector, or
right,
even a company that treats termites. I don't know all the legalities because real estate is very like legal heavy. Like it has a lot more stuff to think about. But okay, so realtors do. I don't know how much it is for inspectors. Go talk to those people, get some kind of partnership where
yeah,
you
you can do
get
that.
like 10, 15%, 20%, whatever discount for getting them a job, and then charge the regular price and make your like that little 15, 20% for doing it.
That's good.
Like
Yeah,
it's real
you can
simple to
totally
do.
do that.
And then like you could get you a whole Rolodex of people like this and have like 5 different inspection services. Like you can get the basic one or you can get the one with everything and
Yeah.
somewhere in between.
Packages, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Honestly,
Like
that's
with
good.
those
that's
partnerships, I don't think I would worry about making money on it. I think I would
yeah,
let
you don't have to. Yeah.
let the person give you the volume discount and
Right.
extend that to your client and worry about getting the job and not making money on what the other person's
Yeah,
doing. The
but
reason why I'm
packaging
saying
all
that was that.
said packaging all that together is worth something because you're saving a lot of time for them as
Yeah,
well.
it
So
is. And I mean, no doubt, right? But I mean, I think like if you were to offer that yourself, then the discount comes with me not having, I'm already traveling out there. I'm already on
Yeah.
site, right? And so I can do it cheaper because my travel's already paid for, usually.
Yes.
That's where most of it comes from. And so since that's not really, somebody still has to travel and everything, and you're not able to offer that as a service, just as an idea, like I knew somebody, I never did it, but like the wood destroying insect, the termite inspections, I did them for a long time for $50. I had somebody in my area that would do them for free. I mean, they did them for free because they wanted to get the job. It was like
Right.
they're not going to make anything off of that 50 or $75 that they charge. It doesn't really do that. I charged because I didn't want to do one on every single inspection that I did. So I charged to keep people that didn't care about it from putting one on there. But so
It's
I charged
good.
a nominal
Like it.
fee. But
That's good.
because it was more work that I didn't want to do if I didn't have to. But because it was free, they're going to take it every time. But for the that's what he did, and I think that's a good idea. You don't charge for that service, and that way, now don't get me wrong, you can build it into your price. You
Yeah.
can build anything into your price. Like if that's what it is, instead of you could always have that kind of built into your. That's what he did, I think. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I always think like just get the job, and then you can work towards offering
That's
the services later if you want to. But if you're making your
mhm.
money off of home inspections, instead of making that whatever little cut you make 10-15%, maybe give that percent to your client, and or actually I guess you're giving it to the because they're giving you the volume discount. um, and so I guess everybody kind of wins in my opinion. You get
Yeah,
the job, you get
for
paid what
sure.
you went there to do. But I do agree. I don't disagree with you that packaging it all together is worth something, and it does take some time to coordinate that kind of stuff. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm on the fence there.
Yeah.
Let's
But it
Milton,
also sets you apart. So unless you want to jump back into the slides.
Man,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
we
curious
totally
about
derailed. Like, what, man? Slide. It says stage two, and we've
Hey,
already derailed the
that's
entire thing.
yeah.
Let's go.
That's
I'm
how
curious about
live things work. What's up?
the three on the bottom here and validating models that work. I mean, killing something fast if it fails and pricing before you
We'll get
scale and
there.
then
Yeah.
documenting. Yeah.
Well,
Keep
let's
on
jump
moving.
into the foundation, stage 3.
Okay.
So, do you have that slide? So there we
I
go.
should do.
What is the number one thing you go in business for? To make money.
That's
Like
it.
that's what businesses are for. So how do you make money? You have something that solves a pain point and you have a way to get paid. So that literally until you are an operating business, that's all you have to worry about. Like if it doesn't help you get a sale, if it doesn't help you deliver a sale, like it can wait. It can probably wait. Like you don't need to go treat all this paperwork and all this stuff as the most important thing. The most important thing, get the sale. Then you have a reason to have all the paperwork. Till then, it's like not really that necessary.
No,
Um,
I hear that.
so yeah, that's like just the first thing. Like what doesn't require an audience? An ad budget that doesn't require an audience. You just like create like so the first thing to do is like do a warm outreach. Go to like people in your network. Go join these like there's a real estate group in your town. I promise. Go on Facebook, search real estate investment, and you'll probably get 20 different things on Facebook you can join. And then just go in there. Oh, how much does it cost you to just shoot a little video? Hey, my name is Milton Yoder. I just started this home inspection company. I'd love to work with you. And then go from there. And to another point, to the no's, like the no just gets you closer to the next yes. No is next opportunity. It's literally all it is. Like it's not a rejection, it's nothing else. It's just like next opportunity. So you've got two choices: next opportunity or figure out a pain point that in previous discussion with this person that you can solve and then present it as that. Like literally in any kind of business, all you're doing is solving a pain point. That's it. And the level of pain you solve is the amount you get paid. That's literally all any business is. So figure out how to solve a bigger pain, get more money. Like that's pretty much
I
how it works.
I love what you have in the slide here as far as things that you need to get set up, right? Some of this is,
Yeah.
for a lot of inspectors, I think they fully understand in terms of like, having your report writer and stuff like that. I think you've got the most important one right at the top, which is a way to get paid. When I first started
Yeah.
out in home inspections, the company that I was with, I was so grateful for the opportunity to learn home inspections, but this company, bless their hearts, was running around with cash and paper checks. texting credit card numbers to the office.
Yeah.
It looks so unprofessional. If you can get a
Uh,
good payment set up like Guardian, I highly recommend Guardian. I use them, not just because we're ISN, but it sets you apart from everybody else because
does.
it shows that you can be trusted to handle other people's money. And
It's
if you're
too
Yeah.
easy
handling,
these days, man, with
yeah,
Zelle and PayPal and Venmo even. I mean, look, some of those aren't
Stripe,
exactly
I
the
think,
most
is free.
professional look.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't stand it when people go, do you take Zelle? And it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah. Do you want to just pay me under the table or something? I don't know. It just doesn't feel very professional. But at the same time, when you're getting started, like that works. I definitely, when
Yeah.
I got started, took some payments on Venmo before I had like Square and stuff like that, and of course now Guardian. But I mean, like, and that's a way more professional look, right? Like they get the
yeah,
link, they make the payment. It's all handled like automated and everything. But I do think that that's huge, man,
Yeah.
because it's like when you're having to worry about how do I get paid, like, yeah, leave a check under the mat, or like, can I meet
yeah.
you and get half the cash? Like, that just
Well,
doesn't, that's not good.
and for people that are going, okay, I'm worried about getting my first job. These are things that you could be focusing on while you're waiting for that job to come in, right? You need to be working even when the work's not there. So,
Well, hey,
okay.
that's a huge thing though, like because like professionalism, like if somebody asks you like, okay, well, how do I pay you? And you're trying to figure out how in the heck you're going to take payment. Like that's not a very good look. But if you can be like, oh, well, I mean, you can Zelle me, you can Venmo me. Actually, I can send you a link. You can pay with a credit card. Like yeah, if you have that all planned out, like that's something that you can say, and that's a sales point. Whereas you
Yeah.
might not look like you're very professional or know what you're doing if you're fumbling for that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's real simple. Like there's so many ways you can get paid.
Yeah.
Like literally just set that up, and like you can set it up for free. Like I haven't used Square. We use QuickBooks, and everything's integrated through that. But when I started, there's an app called Joist, and I believe there's a way you can accept payment on that. I never set that up because
Was that for
most
the
people,
construction industry, or it just had a clever name that worked for you guys?
I'm not sure if that was for the construction industry or not. The one I use now is specifically for construction
What's
industry
it
called
called?
Precise Builder.
Okay. I
But
like
that's more
Joist
of a
better.
scheduling, estimating, and then we use QuickBooks for the accounting side of it, obviously. So, but yeah, Joyce is
Yeah.
pretty cool one too. And it like you can create estimates, invoices, and do
Yeah.
everything you need to get started for a very low price of like $10 a month or something. I think I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, but yeah, getting paid is one of the most important things. Then
Now, why
like
is
if you
that? We had a question in the comments. Somebody said, "Not sure that the most important thing is making money." I disagree.
well,
What's your
if
thought?
you're not making money, come work for me. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
If you're not wanting to make money in business, what are you going in business for? To sell your soul? To like just sweat for free? Like, I mean, yeah, that's the question I have. Like, if you don't want to make money in business, what are you going in business for? So,
that's
I
good, man.
think I think your values can be different besides just wanting to make money. But I
but
mean, like, if we're not
but
trying
okay,
to, make income, I don't know what we're in it for. I mean, unless you're just trying to
if
be like just trying to do a community service. But I
yeah,
mean, like, I think,
no, I
yeah,
get that. Yeah, like if you're going in it just to be this person that wants to make a bunch of money and keep it and save it and hoard it, yeah, you're probably not even going to succeed in the first place. But if you're going in it, like what money is not the most important thing as to life. Oxygen probably is, but just because you take a full breath, now stop breathing because you're full. You're going to die. Same thing with money. It's relatively important. Like, and there's so many things like you can do. If you make more money, what are you going to do? I I'm always going on mission trips. I'm always helping people. And if that's what you're making it for, it money is a flow. And if it gets stuck and stagnant, then it quits coming in. Like you can't just get it in and hold on to it. That's not how it works. It's always a continual flow. And if it gets stuck, then that stops the flow. if the flow keeps going, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's a little bit to that point. I mean, I definitely get why you might not want to seem that you're going in business just to take people's money, but you're providing a service for them. You're giving them something, and that's their exchange for you giving them something, kind of thing. So, um,
Well, Steve Basic,
eh,
I was having a conversation with him earlier, in like earlier in the month, and he said something about like, why are we in business? And I was like, to make money. He goes, no. And he's like, his perspective is to acquire customers. And I'm like, yeah, but to make money. But I mean,
I
like,
mean,
I
different
think,
answer, same thing.
his whole, yeah, I mean, exactly. But he was just like, you know, alter your perspective to my goal is to acquire customers.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
How
That's
much
good.
time do we have left to work through the rest of these slides? Is
We're
About
this
at about
three
40
hours.
minutes.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Okay.
got some time,
Cool.
man. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's like a hard cutoff, but
No, no, definitely not.
perfect. Perfect.
What was it
So,
like? Tell me about when you got your first paying customer with your business. I mean, how did those the steps that we've talked about, how did those play into getting that customer?
well, I mean, for me, the first business I had wasn't construction. The first business I had was a MLM marketing, like slash roofing business thing. So that was, as you can imagine, a little bit cutthroat. There's a lot of perceived notions with MLMs, some good, some bad. It is what you make it. Like I know a lot of successful people in it. If I was to go back with into that now with what I know, it would be completely different. But like I made it a lot harder on myself than what I had to because I did all the work. Like I got stuck in this trap of getting everything perfect before I start going trying to find the first customer instead of just riding around knocking on doors and be like, "Hey, can I inspect your roof?" And
Hmm.
then figuring out a way to fix it. So I mean, dude, the first time I got a check for 10 grand, it was like, holy shit, this is real. Like I went out and sat in the truck and cried. Like, well, fuck, I can do anything. But to get to that point, I had so much trial and error because like I was like, I got to get everything perfect. And finally that didn't work. And so finally it was just like, try this, try that, try this, try that. Talk to people that are in the industry doing it. Maybe if you don't want to talk to your competition in your town, talk to Brad or Matt if you're not in their area. If you are, like, tell them to step up their game if you're taking jobs from them. Like, it's not it's a friendly competition, or you can make it a vicious competition. But I found it's a lot more fun to hang out with people that are friendly. So, and the other fact of the matter is, like, there is so much business out there. You you're not going to if you're doing a good job, that's the last thing you have to worry about is taking a job from somebody else. If that's what you're worried about, you have like the wrong focus. So, but anyways, that's a whole nother discussion.
No, it's good, man.
um, yeah. So yeah, first 10 customers is like the most important thing. Message 20 people in your network. Just like ask who they know with a specific problem. That's what I was telling you. Find a specific pain point that you can solve and get into that and figure out how you can solve that pain point or how you can provide them something with for that. I already mentioned like the local Facebook groups, industry forums, answer questions for free. I'm sure there's in your town, there's local real estate investors that meet at coffee shops, and you'll find those links and times and everything on those Facebook pages. All you have to do is show up to those events and tell them who you are. I've done that in the past, um, like years ago when I was starting. That's real estate and hanging around real estate people. It's really a small community, and so they'll spread your name around pretty quick if you're doing good work. And they'll also spread your name if you're not doing good work. So if you're a good person, just go to those. If you're not, like you'll figure out a way to do that. So ask for ask every yes for a referral. The moment somebody says yes or thank you, when's the best time to ask for a referral? Whenever as soon as you meet the person,
Immediately. Yeah.
like they don't even have to get something from you. Like, hey, like I know I didn't expect something for you, but do you know somebody that might need this service, that service, or whatever that you provide in that? That's how it starts. It just like there's nothing wrong with asking that. The work they can do is say, "Oh, I don't know anybody." Cool, fine. Like no harm. Like it's always a no until you ask. So might as
They
well
could meet
ask.
somebody 5 minutes later. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
always the ideal situation where it's like, oh yeah, actually I just met this guy. Just thought of this guy the other day, and it's like, yeah, his name's Brad Lowry. Let me give you his card.
Hmm. Yeah. And
And
then
not
you
just
can give
referrals,
them.
but
Yeah.
reviews too. I mean, like
Yeah.
once you get that first job, ask for a review immediately because
Yeah.
that's word of mouth. That's modern word of mouth. So
Or if you want to get techie, set up Perplexity to that when you Perplexity is an AI, by the way. You can set that up to automatically send a referral request as soon as you send an invoice. Like
that's wild, man.
there's so many things you can do. AI nowadays makes business so easy. But the thing with AI, like, don't get caught up in that. What sells business, people still want connection with people. So use it for the back end stuff. Don't use it for the front facing. That's my advice. That's how I set up my business, but do whatever you want. I'm not telling you how to set that up. If it works for you, it works for you. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go. Yeah. So the systems, yeah, I guess we kind of transitioned into that. So back to the question of like, we're not in business to make money. I mean, every dollar does require your personal time, whether you're working for yourself or you're working for someone. Like it requires your personal time. Um, so this is just kind of the hustler mindset, like entrepreneur mindset kind of thing. Like decisions are sometimes made from stress in the moment. So you just got to make sure you're not like making a decision that is just strictly from stress, not from panic. Like the core process needs to be written down once you get your first 10 sales, you'll have something to draw off of and be like, okay, this happened. So when this happens, we'll make this decision instead of just making a decision on the spot. You might have to do that at first, but that also gives you those batting reps, average practices that like, okay, I did this. Okay, maybe it worked better if I do this. It allows you to have things to reflect on and make those 2-degree shifts. Um, and then like the biggest thing to start with practically is like just begin documenting 3 things that you do most in your business. That's how systems start getting built. Because until you do that, you can get the perfect system, the perfect script. And then what are you going to do if it goes offline of that script? Like, are you going to panic? I mean, I don't know. Just a thought. So like have like a basic flow maybe, but it's not just, you have to be willing to, okay, this doesn't work here, but we can do this kind of stuff. Um, and then it's like it's a mindset, not just tactics. Um, deliver more weight and like just get this going a little bit better. Like you don't need to systemize everything at the once. Just like the 3 main things. And then as you build off of that, you can start building subsections off of each one. That's kind of the main thing. And then the next slide is
I,
just like
I want to
or go ahead.
touch on this here where it says, moving from the hustler mindset to an operator mindset.
Hmm.
And again, this takes time to refine all of this. But for those that were here 2 weeks ago when Mark Hummel was talking, he talked about your personal operating system being where you have a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 1-year plan. Then you break that 1 year down into monthly and weekly goals, which you review weekly. And to him, the most important thing that you can do is what it says right here on this slide, which is reviewing your plan weekly. It going, what decisions did I make that, which were effective, which did not, play well into what my end goal is for my business.
Hmm.
What do I need to do better to refine next week? And it's so stinking helpful. Like that weekly review is so critical, man, because that's what does get you like hustling's great and you always need to have a little bit of it. But if you want to truly move into being a
Yeah.
well-oiled machine, you've got to review what's working and what's not. And doing that weekly is critical.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
good.
definitely. Yeah. Okay. So the three mistakes: building everything before selling, like you're spending all your time and energy um, perfecting something that you don't even know if it works. Like, make sure you can sell first. Make sure you go out and do a couple of these inspections. Make sure it's something you want to do before you build the perfect plan and put all that time and information and energy into something like that. And then number two is pricing from fear, not from value. Underpricing it to win the first customer trains everybody to expect a discount. So I mean, really, like, that's, you just have to see what the market can support. It's just like the stock market. It's not as volatile as the stock market, but like, what is the demand and what is the support for this demand? And then just figuring out, how to effectively do that, and then doing it all alone. Like, you got Brad, you got Matt you can call and talk to, and like, you got to have them. Even a mentor has a mentor. Like, oof, really? Yeah,
Hmm.
I have mentors that have mentors. Where does it stop? I don't know. Where do you want it to stop? So, and then you got to have some accountability and some peers to like hang out
I
with
think a
and bounce
mentor has to
ideas off of.
die for that to stop.
Yeah. If you
Once
stop,
one's gone, then it starts over.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
a dark way
maybe,
to look at it, but whatever.
maybe. um, yeah. So, and then like, just don't try to do it all by yourself. Like, you can have the perfect thing in your head and it might work and it might not work. But if it's all only in your head and you never get any feedback or momentum, then you get back to building everything before you sell it. So it's just like this loop. Just get out of the loop, go do it. What are you waiting for? Like, it's easier not to. That's why you still haven't done it. Like, just jump out there and try it. Um, so yeah, that's I mean, you need people around you who are building or who have already built, and that's like, you can bounce ideas off of each other with that. So yeah.
That's good, man.
Um yeah, so just to kind of recap everything, you got to have the clarity of what you want to do. You got to have validation that it works. You got to have the foundation. Got to get that first check. Then you can build the systems. And then, like, yeah, just mindset is like, just sell it before you build. Progress over motion. Like, just be making some small progress every day. Make a one phone call. Do one thing every day. And then you can do that. The trap is perfecting it before anybody has paid for it. Because if it is so perfect, nobody pays for it. Where is it perfect in? Like, in
That
your head. That's it.
it's the only place. There's no
That's
real
it.
world proof. Yeah.
Yeah. And then every time you get a yes, ask for a referral. If you get a no, ask for a referral. That's it.
You know what's so great
So,
is that when I sit down and think about, okay, what goes into a great business plan, um, my mindset is automatically wrong because I'm strictly thinking about what's correct on paper, and you're
mhm,
saying nothing if you're not selling anything, and
nothing.
that's it. You have nothing to evaluate until you just absolutely just say let's go for it, and you jump in and you start selling. This kind of comes back to one of the gentlemen in the chat. He was asking about, okay, but what if you're not a one-stop shop? You don't have to be. It's just you just go for it, man. You go for it with what you have right now. In fact, I think that's better because once you get money coming in, uh, that's when you can start to add some of those ancillaries. Once you've
Mhm.
made several thousand, then you can buy a radon machine. Once you've made 20,000, now you can buy a sewer scope. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you don't want to go into debt for this stuff. Go ahead and start with what you've got. Don't wait. Just start now, and then it can take care of itself and it can build over time. Um, so I think that's fantastic, man. This is getting your mentality right before you start getting anything on paper.
Mhm.
That's huge.
Trial and error, start doing things at work, refine what works. It's a continual evolution of refinement. Like,
Yeah.
so just go out and try it and get that sale, move on to the next, and continue refining the process. Yep, you nailed it.
Can you give us an instance where you did it wrong? Because this is one of the things that you and I had talked about before. It's like you've learned how to do it right this time with One Shield Construction because of having done it wrong. Like, what? When did you get to the point where you're like, my mentality is what needed to shift?
Well, one thing I did wrong was pricing too low to start with. Like, pricing low is the fastest way to go out of business because you're always running, running, running. And it's literally is a mindset shift to change your pricing, because when I figured out I could raise my prices 20%, work 30% less, and be making 40% more money because I'm working less for more money. It's like, and I have time and I'm not stressed out. I'm able to do it properly. That was probably the biggest shift for me. And the biggest thing that I was doing wrong was just trying to sell everything based on price. And
Mm.
when you switch to value selling instead of price selling, you get a completely different market.
And that is, I, I don't think we
And
can talk about that enough. I
No,
yeah,
mean,
dude.
seriously, and it's hard because what are you? Everyone is going to be tempted to just underprice.
yeah,
Everyone getting started is going to be tempted to underprice, and it's really important that you actually don't do that. There's a balance there that you got to find, and I think, I mean, and this goes for just, I mean, every industry that I can think of. I mean, you've really got to figure out a way to not do that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree.
And then,
And you've got to be okay with taking some loss on that too, in the sense of
mhm,
like you might
yeah,
miss an opportunity. There was one inspection. This is a brand new agent. I'd been out beating the doors down after moving to Nashville here, and beating doors down at open houses, not quite literally, but I met this one realtor who was like, "Yeah, I'm totally going to give you a shot." And she called, asked for a quote. The house was like 4,500 square feet, and she wanted a termite, and she wanted a radon. I gave her a very fair price. It wasn't a cheap price. It was a very fair price, and she went silent. Never heard from her again. But you know what? I'm like, I would rather stick to my guns on what my time is worth. And I know you got to
yeah,
make that money initially, but at the same time, I wasn't about to go and just be like, well, you know what? Since I'm new to town, I'll do it for $100. Absolutely
yeah,
not. You know,
yeah.
no.
And the other thing is, if you're winning 100% of the bids, that's your first sign that you're too low. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what the industry standard is for your industry, but like, even if I'm winning 75%, I'm still too low. I don't want, I want to actually, I want to lose 30 to 40% of the bids
Yeah.
due to price, because like, I went down that road. If I win everything, that means I'm continually stressed out and I don't have the time to do it right because I've got too much to do.
Yeah. Rick says in the chat, he says, I play the value angle and price accordingly.
Mhm.
That's good, man. That's exactly what you have to do. And he raises prices annually. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
Um,
Love it.
yeah. Mickey, you keep asking about changing realtors' mindsets. You got to learn that you can't change anybody's mind. People convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. You need to do what you're good at doing and charge accordingly. That's all we're saying. And the only time that you're going to get a chance to change someone's mind is once they finally give you the opportunity. Just keep putting yourself in the position to get the most opportunities. That's it.
Yeah.
Now this is good, man. This is good. Okay, so
Yeah.
the next 7 days, like if for the inspectors that are watching here, what are the things that they need to be focusing on then? For if they're just starting out, they need to course correct their mindset. What do they need to be doing in the next week?
Yeah. So just pick one problem that you see in the industry. Like, I'm in construction. I see a lot of problems in the industry. There's a lot of gaps that I could fill. So what's one thing that you can do in the construction or in the home inspection industry to set yourself apart and fix so can you go back to the slide there? Is that
Yeah.
it keeps disappearing for me? Yeah. So the next one. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, find one problem you can fix. Um, talk to at least 10 people how you can fix that problem. If that doesn't work, next week find another one. Um, and offer like the nap conversion, the ugly version, what it says here, but like just offer the nap conversion of the till you get that first person who says, I'll pay for that. Then I mean, that's literally what you have to do. And you might like, if you're up for it, talk to 10 people in a day. That's how you get it done and have your business in 2 weeks instead of 2 months. Like you just collapse time. That's literally all
That's
you have to
good.
do with that.
That's good. Um,
So
John, you're talking about in the chat over here. There's some comments being made about you know, sometimes you have to go in low with your price, just to get some sort of a foothold. And I get it, right? Like we've said, you have to do what you have to do. But John, I'm reading yours specifically. He's talking about in Florida specifically where he has to do,
yeah.
if he tells an agent he's done a bunch of wind mitigation inspections, and the agent's still going to go with the lowest charging home inspector, I get it. I've had that happen too when I was inspecting down there.
Yeah.
There was an agent. I was down in the Tampa, St. Pete, and Bradenton area, and somebody was up in Newport Richey, and they asked me what I would do. Would I do a wind mit, a 4-point, and a standard inspection for 350? And I said, absolutely not. and they immediately went and found somebody else. For me, I'm like, that's maybe I was too expensive for Newport Richey, but I was not too expensive for Tampa. But I also was then spared driving 2 hours, for a $350 job where I was going to put 120 of that in the gas tank. So, it's, know your market. Maybe that's the better tip there. But we're not unsympathetic to the struggle of getting work while still respecting your price point,
Well, I mean, like, I think like there's a bit of an elephant in the room with like, all right, like if everyone is charging X amount, well then if your prices are way higher than that, then you're no longer competitive. Now,
Right.
but that means that like we can't allow the undercutters to take over the market either. And so there has to be some type of balance there. But it's like, yeah, I mean, like if you're higher than everybody else in town, then you either have a way to sell that service because it's valuable to you for that, and you either and you need to you should be able to sell that service, or you've got to price yourself competitively. I mean, your prices aren't just what you make it; they're competitive based on the market.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, they're buying the perceived value. So if there's no way to build any more perceived value in there, then maybe you have to compete on price. And like I understand that, like that may be what you have to do. But if it is, just make sure it's worth your time. And if you're comfortable with that, I'm not saying don't do it just because it's cheap. Do it whatever it's worth to you. That's different for you than it is for me. So that would be my advice on it.
No, that's good, man. That's really good. Well, Milton, this has been fantastic, dude. I love the conversation around having the right mindset here. And Matt, we just, we've referenced this interview a couple of times, but Abby Bullock with Merit Inspections down in Tampa, had no understanding of how to run a business properly. Just jumped in, and even used credit cards horribly, I would say. Not to pick other people's finances apart, but loaded them out, just doing paid ads and stuff, just whatever it took to start getting work coming in. And she's
Mhm.
paid them off and is doing 3 inspections a day now.
Yeah, she didn't
You
do
know,
nothing. You know what I mean? Like I think that's the thing.
exactly.
You doing something is better than doing nothing. And so she was
But
doing
she's
whatever she could
got,
to make that phone ring.
yeah, and now she's got something that she can sit and review operation wise to get out of the
Mhm.
hustler mindset into the operator mindset, like
Yeah.
what Milton's talking about. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's
So no,
definitely a shift you have to make
yep, that's
after
good, man.
after you get it going. Yep.
That's really
Hey,
good.
hey, I got a shout out to everyone in the chat here. The questions and everything that have been coming in were awesome today. Really good discussion going on there, like ancillary to the talk we've been having with Milton.
Yeah. Yep. No, this has been awesome, guys. Thank you for sounding off. We do have a little bit of time left if you have any other questions. But for the meantime, hit that react button down at the bottom of the screen, and give Milton some appreciation here for showing up. I'm going to repost the Thinkific link right here. Um, this is going to be the link that you guys can go to one, access the video if you want to watch it back, and access module 1.1's video so you can watch Mark Hummel again. But there's going to be homework assignments with each, as well as a quiz. It's going to take me a day to get this video live on the platform over there. But click this link and save it right now so that you can keep going back to the course in Thinkific and access all the stuff that comes with it. Only 2 people accessed it last time. I'm like, and there was 105 registrants. I was like, 2 people? Come on, y'all. You gotta stop being lazy. This is good material.
We
These
want
people
to
are taking
double
the time.
that this time. Can
We
get
do. We want 4.
4?
Come on, let's go. So, guys, click that link, save it, and really try to make use of the material here. So this has been awesome. But Milton, thank you for the time, dude. It's great as always. And you're in Vegas right now. We'll see you back here in Nashville.
Yeah, man. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Milton.
Absolutely. And guys,
Yep.
thanks for watching. And remember, subscribe to the Ride Along. Follow Matt online, and we'll see you as always on the Ride Along. New episode dropping next week.
Right on.